We are following breaking news as we come on the air here at 6 a.m. This is a live picture from a deadly fire at a senior apartment building in St. Paul. Audrey Russo just got some brand new information. We're going to check in with her in just a minute. But first, we want to say good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Jason Hackett. Lauren Lemanchek has the morning off. We also have to talk about some rain heading to the metro. Our weather team declaring a KARE 11 weather impact alert tonight into tomorrow morning. We issue these alerts when weather can impact your plans. Meteorologist Ren Claire is timing it all out for us. And Ren, those Friday night plans may need a change here.
Yeah, so we're looking at rounds of rain and storms. And while most of the daytime stays dry, we're just not in a weather pattern where we have a concrete, hey, we're dry all day long across the state until this time. We're actually going to continue to see some spotty showers and isolated storms at all times here today, especially west of the Twin Cities and north of the metro, where we have a front that's just about stalled. So we do still keep rounds of storms. I do think between 5 and 8 we have some scattered storms in the metro. They just aren't widespread. Overnight, that's when the steadier rain develops and localized flooding will be a concern with any storms that develop. So we do have that weather impact alert in place overnight through mid-morning tomorrow. And that is the timeline where I'm expecting more impact with the heavy rain. Right now, we've got some spotty showers and isolated storms developing just north of Alexandria towards Fergus Falls. We're not seeing widespread rain, and storms here this morning are not severe. Highs are in the mid-80s today. I'll take a closer look at that chance for overnight strong storms up ahead with my full forecast. Cece.
Good morning. Getting a report about a possible crash in Coates, Minnesota on Highway 52 southbound. I've been clicking around on Highway 52, so I just need to find that specific camera. But it looks like the crash is as you're going toward Vermilion, the Cannon Falls area. So I'll find that for you and let you know if you'll need to take an alternate route at all this morning. But other than that, that is the only crash I'm seeing out there right now. I do want to talk about some weekend construction for sure, though. At 94 eastbound, parts of it will shut down this weekend, and 94 westbound, so I'll have more on that. Also, Highway 55 is going to see some work this weekend too in the Golden Valley area, so a lot of workarounds, a lot of detours that I'll be telling you about, and also some drive times in that area right now, how they're looking. But for now, I'll send things back to Jason.
Construction as always. Cece, thank you. Let's turn back to that breaking news in St. Paul. Fire crews are investigating a deadly fire at a senior apartment building. This all started about 2 hours ago on East Como Boulevard, just southeast of Lake Como. That's where Audrey Russo is live right now. Audrey, what have you learned?
He confirmed to me that the person who did die is an adult female. So I'm going to move out of the way and I'll have my photographer, Adam, just stay on the building because as you can see, things have really cleared out in the last half hour or so. A lot of the fire trucks have left. And in the last 5 minutes, I also confirmed residents are allowed back in the building. So they're not going to be evacuated for as long as initially planned. That was not the case, though, when we rolled up at 4:15. I spoke with a displaced resident who told me that the fire department was knocking on people's doors around 3:30, telling them to evacuate. The fire chief says that they arrived and found fire in one apartment unit. That's where they also found that adult female who we now know has died. They started evacuating all of the floors. Now the chief says they're just trying to make sure that the building is secure, but by and large, people are allowed back in. We've watched people walk in. They are allowed to stay in. So this is obviously a cause for an investigation. This is a senior apartment building. There are a lot of folks with mobility issues. They were describing what it was like to hear the fire alarm go off and have to try to run for the elevator. And then the elevator was out of service, so it was trying to make sure that they were able to evacuate safely. That was a big concern. But again, the cause of the fire, still unclear at this time. I'll send things back to you.
All right, Audrey, I know you're running around out there gathering information, talking to people. We're going to let you get back to work. Thank you so much. Developing right now, the man accused of killing Speaker Emerita Melissa Hortman and her husband and shooting Senator John Hoffman and his wife has now been indicted by a county grand jury. Michelle Beck is in the newsroom breaking down the charges for us. Michelle.
Well, hey there, Jason. I'm counting 8 new charges in state court, which Vance Belter would face after his federal case is finished. The most serious of those charges includes 2 counts of first-degree murder for the killings of Speaker Emerita Melissa Hortman and her husband Mark. A Hennepin County grand jury also indicted Belter on 4 counts of attempted first-degree murder. That's for allegedly trying to kill State Senator John Hoffman, his wife Yvette, their daughter Hope, and the fourth person being Representative Kristen Bonner of Maple Grove. As federal officials said before, Bonner was not home when the accused political assassin stopped there, too. The Hennepin County attorney says Belter showed enough intent to kill her in his notebook writings and actions.
These are members of our community here in Hennepin County. These were people who were public servants who represent us, and we feel it's important to hold Belter accountable for what he did in this county.
The last two charges Belter now faces are impersonating a police officer and animal cruelty for shooting the Hortman's dog. Jason.
Oh, thank you very much. Right now, Air Canada is canceling more flights ahead of a possible flight attendant strike in less than 24 hours. The 10,000 workers are threatening to walk off the job if they don't have a new contract by midnight. Those talks are at a standstill right now over issues like pay raises. If the walkout happens, the airline says it would suspend all of its Air Canada and Air Canada Rogue flights, impacting about 130,000 people a day. They say by the end of today, they could cancel 500 flights. The airline will reach out to customers by email or text to let them know if their flight is impacted. Now, we did check MSP's website this morning, and so far, the Air Canada flights appear to be flying out on time today. In just a matter of hours, President Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin are set to meet. The two leaders coming together in this high-stakes summit to end Russia's 3-year war in Ukraine. And Trump says he believes Putin wants to make a deal to end it. He is threatening Russia with very severe consequences if Putin doesn't agree.
It never made sense, this war. I want to see if I can stop the killing. The more important meeting will be the second meeting that we're having. We're going to have a meeting with President Putin, President Zelensky, myself. A life of dignity.
That second meeting Trump mentioned will only happen if things go well today with Putin. Ukrainian President Zelensky met with Trump a few days ago and remains deeply skeptical of Putin. He stresses nothing will move forward without a pause in the fighting. Coming up at 6:30, we're going to have a closer look at today's summit. Developing right now in Minneapolis, the city council is pushing back on Mayor Jacob Frey's $2 billion budget proposal that includes a nearly 8% property tax hike. Frey says his budget saves more than $20 million with no layoffs to city staff and no interruption to core city services. The mayor says some of those cuts come from vacant positions and includes work that can be handled by already existing staff. But city council members voiced their concerns about cutting programs like sidewalk snow removal.
These are very real and very critical services. I understand that difficult decisions have to be made, but I anticipate the council's discussions with the administration will begin with these concerns. I'm looking forward to working with my colleagues to pass a people-centered budget that truly cares for our residents' needs without raising the projected levy, just as we did last year.
If Frey's budget is passed, property taxes on a median home in Minneapolis will go up roughly $240 a year. Well, tomorrow, the Minnesota Renaissance Festival kicks off its 7-weekend run just 4 months after a fire destroyed several buildings. This morning, we've got some tips if you plan to head out there this year. On RenaissanceFest.com, there are options to buy advanced sale tickets at Quick Trip and Cub. We found people on social media who say they snagged the 2-ticket, 2-turkey leg combo bundle over at Costco. As for getting there, the website has a list of park and ride bus stops, which operate from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Inside the gates, you're going to notice that April fire that took out several food vendors and artisan stands. Fair reps say they are working to replace those 6 buildings.